Hello everyone. Here, this module we are going to take on definite integrals. Few questions based on that concept from NCERT book. But I see that in previous module when I explained the fundamentals of this topic, definite integral. That time I selected few questions. So these questions from NCERT also are similar. That's why I have filtered them. The equation number 1 we have taken here. Its integral minus 1 to 1, lower limit is minus 1, upper is 1, x plus 1 dx. As I said in the beginning, that simply whenever function is given, integrate. If it is directly, it can be done directly. Okay. So in that case, if I integrate the first term, it is x square by 2. One integration is x. So yes, I can write it as x square by 2. Limit can be taken minus 1 to 1 and plus next term I am getting x minus 1 to 1, and now we have to evaluate. Writing this as half 1 square minus square or minus 1 plus similarly the same time we can write here 1 minus 1. Now solving, we get half, this value is coming out to be 2. This is 2 cancelled out, we are left with 3. So this was one of the simplest question. Now next we will see. Here in IC 7.9 maximum questions are given which can be integrated directly. Okay. Here cosec x. So once again, like cosec x is given, limit is given from pi by 6 30 degree to pi by 4, it's 45 degree. So what we can do here, we can directly integrate cosec x by the formula. As I have said, we can use that. Cosec x integration is log of mod cosec x minus cot x. If we integrate directly, we have limits from pi by 6 to pi by 4. Now these two limits we have to use. First of all, upper limit if I substitute, so I will get I as log of cosec pi by 4 minus cot pi by 4. Subtraction of log cosec pi by 6 minus cot pi by 6. Now we have to substitute the values. It's log cosec pi by 4, as you know it is root 2, minus cot pi by 4, this is 1, minus log pi by 6 30, so this is 2, and cot pi by 6, again it is root 3. Now this much we can consider to be the answer, but as I see properties of log are applicable, so yes, further we can write here applying the properties of log, as this is subtraction between them, so we can write this as I is log of mod root 2 minus 1 upon 2 minus root 3. This much we can wind up as the final answer. Now next question. Here next I am taking question 11. Here we see that here we have to use partial fraction in common, otherwise means more methods are possible. If I apply a partial fraction, 1 upon x square minus 1 can be written as 1 upon x plus 1 x minus 1 is equal to, if I split using partial fraction pattern number 1, a upon x plus 1 plus b upon x minus 1. Therefore, conclusion, 1 is equal to a x minus 1 b x plus 1. And now by solving the same method by expansion either or hidden trial, if I take minus 1 here, so this will become a equal to minus 1 by 2. And if I take 1, x equal to 1, so this term will be 0, we will get b is equal to 1 by 2. So this way we can split up the given integral as 2 to 3 minus 1 by 2 x plus 1 plus 1 by 2 x minus 1 dx. These can be open and can directly be integrated as minus 1 upon 2, 2 to 3, 1 upon x plus 1 dx plus 1 upon 2 1 upon x minus 1 dx. This can be written as I is equal to minus 1 by 2 log of mod x plus 1 2 to 3 plus half log x minus 1 2 to 3. Now same we have to write with the operator. Now this is integration. This much is integration part. Now we have to put the limit upper first, then subtraction, and then lower limit. Here we get I as minus 1 upon 2 log. If I put 3, so this will become 4. 3 plus 1 4 minus log of 2 plus 1 3. And that side, second term half. If I put 3 there, so this will turn 3 minus 1, 2 minus log 2 minus 1, 1. We know that log of 1 is 0. So this term will give us only log of 2. So yes, we can say it is minus half. Log of this term 4 by 3 by the properties of log. Here we get half. Log 2 as log 1 becomes 0. And from both of the terms as half is common, we can take it, and here in bracket we will get log of 2 minus log of 4 by 3. And again by applying the properties of log, we can say this is I 1 upon 2 log of 2 divided by 4 by 3, or we can say 2 into 3 by 4, which gives us final answer as half log of 3 by 2. Now we will take next question from the same exercise. In the next question number 14, as I have selected because yes, this is conventional pattern, linear polynomial divided by quadratic polynomial, rational function. Its pattern you might have seen in earlier modules, px plus q upon ax square plus bx plus c. The same way, we will solve this also. In final answer, then we will put the limits. Let's see. Here we go. As we know that this linear upon quadratic, px plus q upon ax square plus bx plus c, whenever we have, we split up 2x plus 3 as a d by dx of the denominator plus b in two terms. So 2x plus 3, this is a, this will become 10x plus this one becomes 0 plus b, and finally we have 2x plus 3, this is equal to 10ax plus b, and by comparison we find a is equal to 1 upon 5 and b is equal to 3. Using these two values, we can split up the given integral as 0 to 1. A, it's 1 by 5. Differentiation of denominator, it is 10x plus, we have obtained b as 3. And when I explained this topic, I told you, you just check whether by solving we are getting the same. Okay, 1 by 5 into 10 will be 2x plus 3. Yeah, it's all correct. Divided by 5x square plus 1 denominator as it is. Now this can further be written as 1 by 5, 0 to 1, 10x upon 5x square plus 1 dx plus thrice 0 to 1, 1 upon 5x square plus 1 dx. Here as we know that this differentiation you obtain, just to consider, substitute this value as t. So that's why we will get 1 by 5 direct integration will be log 5x square plus 1, limit from 0 to 1. And next, this will be solved by the basic method by formula. First of all, 5 we will take common as always we do. Always I have suggested make a coefficient of x square as 1. Okay, so this will become 3 upon 5 taking common, 0 to 1, 1 upon x square plus 1 by 5 dx. Here, meantime, we can put the value. We find 1 upon 5. Taking 1 as the upper limit, this will become log 6. And if I put 0 here, this will become log 1. And once again we get log 1 will be 0. Here, we can apply the identity 3 upon 5, 0 to 1 as it is. This will be written as x square plus 1 by root 5 whole square, and now you can compare, looks like x square plus a square. Yes, here by solving, taking this to be 0, we are having first term finally as 1 by 5 of log 6. There if I apply the integral, it comes 1 upon a means 1 upon 1 by root 5 means it root 5 and tan inverse x upon a. So this will become tan inverse root 5 x, limit from 0 to 1. Now rest, this we can cancel out, make it root 5 only, and further we have this I as 1 upon 5 log of 6 plus 3 upon root 5, taking the limits here, tan inverse root 5 into 1 makes it root 5 minus tan inverse root 5 into 0 makes it 0. So this term will be 0 and we have final answer as 1 by 5 log 6 plus 3 by root 5 tan inverse root 5. I hope this is understood. Now you can see this was a much easier question but takes time and length. Okay. So let's see next question. So now. This question number 17 is next. Here I do not think that it is too much difficult. It's basic level only. Sec square x, yes, directly integrable, x cube directly integrable. Here 2 also, we can do it directly. Yeah. So solving, we find sec square as tan x, its integration 0 to pi by 4. Then here we get 1 by 4 x to the power 4 0 to pi by 4 plus 2x 0 to pi by 4. Now solving, we will get tan pi by 4 minus tan 0 plus 1 by 4. Yeah, we will get pi raised to the power 4 upon 4 raised to the power 4. Next, minus 0. This one we will have 2 into pi by 4 minus 0. Now solving these, I is equal to tan pi by 4, as we know 1, this is 0. So finally from the bracket, first bracket we have 1. Here we get 1 upon 4 into pi raised to the power 4, 4 raised to the power 4 plus 2 into only pi by 4 we obtain 2 2s are, this will make it pi by 2, and this whole while solving 4 raised to the power 5. So this will become pi by 4, 4 raised to the power 5 or 2 raised to the power 10, 1024 plus pi by 2 plus 1 as the final answer. But still I see that this is not that much difficult if you are well prepared in indefinite integral. We will see next questions of the same exercise now. Next question which we are going to take from the same exercise is question number 18. Here I see if suppose we solve it directly, then we need to apply identity. You remember whenever we are given the powers of sine or cos, then we need to apply the identities from trigonometry individually if we are doing. Of 1 minus cos x upon 2 is equal to sine square x by 2 and 1 plus cos x upon 2 is equal to cos square x by 2. Those identities from the very first module of this chapter, integration, can be used. But here I see one more identity. I find that whenever we are having cos x, this can be written as cos square x by 2 minus sine square x by 2. So applying this identity makes the function very convenient. Means what we can do here, if I take minus sine out as common factor, we are left with cos square x by 2 minus sine square x by 2 dx, or directly you can write here. So we get integration of cos x dx, limit from 0 to pi. Now cos x, as we know, is minus sine x 0 to pi, making it more easier and convenient for us. You can write here sine x, and from this is 0 to pi and putting the values. Yeah, we see that it's a sine pi minus sine 0. and finally we get 0 here. This is question number 18. Next we will see question number 19. 19 is not very much different from the previous question once we have done linear divided by quadratic. So here we can apply the same pattern of bx plus q upon ax square plus bx plus c. This is selected as in the denominator we are not given the polynomial in standard form. How we go? Let's see. Here we can use the bx plus q upon quadratic polynomial method, or here we can take this x square plus 4 separate in both of the terms. As I am speaking that in denominator we don't have the polynomial in standard form. Only the one term of x square and other constant is given. So depends on choice which one you would like to apply. Okay. So if I follow that method, 6x plus 3, this is equal to a d by dx of x square plus 4 plus b. Easily I find that this is 6x plus 3 is equal to a 2x plus b, and by comparison a is equal to 1 by 3 and b is equal to 3. Both of them are 3 here. This 2a equal to 6, so we can say a equal to 3 and b also equal to 3. Okay. Now after this we can split up, given integral as 0 to 2. This will become thrice x square. What was that? 2x. Thrice 2x plus 3. 6x plus 3 is equal to that. X square plus 4 dx. Then we can separate it at 0 to 2, 3, 2x upon x square plus 4 dx plus thrice 0 to 2, 1 upon x square plus 4 dx. Here we see integral, this is, as we know, 2x is differentiation of x square plus 4 only. Yes, obviously it is log x square plus 4, 0 to 2 plus thrice. Now this is x square plus 2 square, so applying identity of 1 upon a square plus x square, we get 1 upon a tan inverse x upon a with limit 0 to 2. We need to solve it. We get thrice, taking 2 first as the limit, 2 square 4 and 4 8, log of 8 minus putting 0 here, we get log of 4. This will be log of 8 upon 4. So we get finally first as log of 2. Moreover, this 3 taken as power, we get log of 8. All applying properties of log. The next one, here we get 3 by 2. If I replace x by 2, we get tan inverse 1 minus, then replacing the 0, tan inverse 0. Obviously tan inverse 0 will make it make the second term to be 0, but tan inverse 1 gives us pi by 4. And yes, we can finally write this is 3 pi by 8 as the second term. And final answer. So these were not that much difficult, but problem may be there in which method is to be chosen. Generally this happens whenever we are doing more than one method, then selection is the problem. So as I always say, depends on choice. Let's see next question now. This is the last group of questions from exercise 7.9 which we have taken. Here question number 20, we can see is the combination of two terms. First of all, this can be done directly, but this one is by parts rule. So that's why what we will do, first of all, we will separate 0 to 1 x e raised to the power x dx plus 0 to 1 sin pi x by 4 dx. Here, if I apply by parts, obviously this will be taken as first and second function. X as it is, integration of e raised to the power x gives the same function, and at this term only we can put the limit 0 to 1 minus. Now, differentiation of x will give you 1. That's why we are left with only e raised to the power x dx in the second term, 0 to 1. Okay. And here, as usually I say, depends, you better directly do. If not, then you can substitute this whole pi x by 4 is t. Okay. Otherwise, as you know, the integration of sin x is minus cos x here. So we can get it minus cos pi x by 4 and also divided by the coefficient of x means pi by 4, and for this whole we get 0 to 1. Now solving, we get if I put 1 here, so we get 1 into e raised to the power 1 minus, obviously 0 is the second term, then rest integration of ex remains ex 0 to 1, and this portion we can write minus 4 upon pi cos pi x by 4 0 to 1. Next, finally this will be e. From here we get minus e raised to the power 1 minus e raised to the power 0. This is minus 4 upon pi cos pi x by 4, means we have to put 1 here, cos pi by 4 minus then cos 0. Solving, this is equal to e minus e raised to the power 0 is 1, so plus 1 minus 4 upon pi, this is 1 by root 2 minus 1. All these terms we have to simplify. Yeah, there is cancellation. E and E are cancelled out. 1 when I multiply inside, so 4 by root 2 is 2 root 2 upon pi plus 4 upon pi. This is the final answer. So it doesn't matter, but always we are getting a constant. The next one, this is an option, objective type. 4 options are given. We find here directly we can apply the identity, but the coefficient of x square we have to take common. So first of all we will write this as 1 upon 9, 0 to 2 upon 3, 4 upon 9 plus x square. Now writing that in standard form, we get 1 upon 9, 0 to 2 by 3 dx x square plus 2 by 3 whole square. Don't forget, we are not supposed to avoid the previous methods, whatever we have seen. Here, if I apply the formula, it is 1 upon x square plus a square. Recently in previous question we applied. So 1 upon a means this a is 2 by 3, so we get 3 by 2. And tan inverse x upon a, so x divided by 2 by 3 is a 3x by 2. We get 0 to 2 by 3. Now taking the values, I is 1 by 6. Now if I put 2 by 3 here, obviously we are getting tan inverse 1 minus tan inverse 0. And solving, we get 1 by 6 into, from here we get pi by 4. So pi by 24. So correct option is C there for this one. So questions in this exercise are, in my opinion, all are basics. Okay, so once you are done with the integration, in definite integration well, then this exercise I don't think is difficult. Okay, let's see 7.10, 7.10 questions exercise. Those questions also we solve in the same module. Let's see. Yes, now we are solving questions from 7.10. This is the first block, first module in which I am taking two exercises together, because both of them are based on the same concept, and simply we have to apply the concepts of indefinite integral. So I do not think that these questions should be solved separately. Okay, because throughout one question will be given from definite. If any method from definite integral is applicable, you do and solve the question. So that's why I have taken both of the exercises here. The question number 3 of 7.10, which I have taken, generally this is raised by students. This is how to solve sin inverse 2x upon 1 plus x square, its integration. I have always told you, whenever we are having inverse trigonometric function, in general substitution will be used. Like here we need to apply the pattern, like 1 plus x square I see, so identity of tan theta. So that's why x can be substituted using tan theta. Okay. and then further by parts method is applicable. Okay, but there are other options also, like here sin inverse 2x upon 1 plus x square is the direct identity which is equal to 0 to 1 twice tan inverse x dx. And obviously those who know this identity, they will use it, okay, in equation. So here we can say this is I twice 0 to 1 tan inverse x dx. Now this type of functions we have already done in the chapter of indefinite integral, where we used to apply by parts method, taking into 1. Okay, the same method here also we will do. If I multiply this by 1, so this becomes second function, tan inverse as first function. So let's do that twice. First term, this first function as it is, and integrate this x. So we get tan inverse x into x, and put the limit here 0 to 1. Next, subtraction. Here in this term, 0 to 1 integral as it is, but differentiate tan inverse x being 1 upon 1 plus x square, and above integration of 1, so we can write here x dx this way. Okay, now this portion parallelly we will put the limit. We get, if I put 1 here, so x is 1, so we get tan inverse 1 minus 0, because this x equals 0 will make the whole term to be 0. Okay, now x upon 1 plus x square. What is my experience, many times we have used such integral where 1 plus x square is substituted as t, and then it can be solved, because its differentiation will be 2x dx. So that's why if I am doing directly, thinking that you also know very well. Okay, here you will get half log of 1 plus x square. You can use this as direct formula in your practice also. Okay, again in this time I will tell you separately how have I done. I consider 1 plus x square as t, differentiating 2x dx is dt. We get x dx, this is equal to half dt, so integral becomes half dt upon t, which is half log of t to the base e actually, and plus c1. Here actually we are not supposed to put constant, that's why I am not taking. Yeah, t becomes 1 plus x square plus c1. So directly we are doing. Okay, these all steps you can skip and you can write directly this way. Now the bracket gives us here twice pi by 4. If I take here minus half, so we get first term as a log of 1 square 1 and 1, 2 minus log of 1 plus 0, again log 1, and log 1 as 0 is 0, so we get log 2 only, multiplying by 2. Final answer can be written as pi by 2. Here we get 2 and 2 cancelled out, only log 2, and I have said log 1 will be 0, so there is no effect. From this bracket we get log 2, so that's why this is the final answer, pi by 2 minus log 2. Okay, we will go ahead with the fifth question also, and again was selecting, so I was thinking whether this will give any challenge or not, because simple observation says it's substitution method. What? Sin x is given, below we are having cos function, substitute cos by t, let cos x is t here, differentiating minus sin x dx dt. By the way, this exercise is based on substitution method. First question I have not used substitution. Okay, so depends. It's not a compulsion every time. Here we get sin x dx dt, but parallelly look for the limits also. I minus 0. If I take cos of 0, t becomes 1. If I take pi by 2, it becomes 0. Sin x dx is dt upon 1 plus t square. This is again the direct integral. I is equal to minus tan inverse t with limit 1 to 0. If I take the limits here inside, I get tan inverse 0 minus tan inverse 1. Solving, I find it's 0 minus pi by 4, and finally pi by 4. Okay, so depends. Substitution method as this exercise I said. So in second question, it was very easy to apply and it was helpful also. Here easier was to use that trigonometric identity. I did. Now we will take next pair of questions from the same exercise. Yeah, this is the last batch of questions which we have taken from 7.10. Not many questions are given in that exercise. This I feel help is needed, and maybe that in previous module when I explained fundamentals, in that you might have seen questions from this earlier. No problem. Let's repeat that if so. Here, by the way, I will say there are direct patterns. If you have done indefinite very well, you can catch them. This is 1 upon quadratic polynomial, means completing the square method. Okay. First of all, completing the square method. You write here. So we get I, this is equal to minus 1 to 1 the limit. Divide the coefficient of x by 2, we get 1. So yeah, we can write this as dx upon x plus 1 whole square. And whatever the value of b we have obtained, its square should be subtracted. Its square should be subtracted from the constant. Means 5 minus 1 square is 4. This way. And every time whenever quadratic polynomial is given, I take common the coefficient of x square. But here it's already given 1. So that's why let's do like this. Now here is the substitution method. As I said, this method, this exercise is based on substitution. So here, this portion, generally we do directly, as this is the linear, so we can apply the direct identity. Okay? Or otherwise substitution, this can be taken as t, x plus 1 substituted as t. In that case, limits will be changed. So as obvious, let's, I'm not doing directly this time, as I want to show the use of substitution method. So let's do it by the same. Meantime, we will write 4 also as 2 square. So we can write ln x plus 1 is t. So dx, it becomes dt. And with that, I is equal to, now limit change. If I put minus 1 here, so t becomes 0. Taking 1, it becomes 2. dt upon, this becomes t square plus 4 is 2 square. Whenever such a linear polynomial we have, they substituted by the variable t, we have no profit, no loss, as it is dx equal to dt. Okay, so that's why in such a case I say directly if you can catch it, you apply. Now, this is the identity of x square plus a square. This will be 1 upon a means 1 upon 2 tan inverse t with limits 0 to 2, and solving we have I is equal to 1 upon 2 tan inverse 2 minus tan inverse 0. Now here this is you can see application of identity. X square plus 1 upon x square plus a square. 1 upon a means 1 upon 2. Tan inverse x upon a means t upon 2 with a limit 0 to 2. So finally we get 1 upon 2. Its tan inverse 2 upon 2 will be 1 minus tan inverse 0. So as we are getting pi by 4 from the bracket, pi by 4 minus 0 will make it pi by 8. The final answer. Now next one, we can see this is the special case. You remember integration e raised to the power x fx plus f dash x dx. Its answer is e raised to the power x fx plus c. That pattern, because we are given in a product function e and these two terms. But one thing, e is given with power 2x. So first of all, substitution. We will use here let 2x be t. That's why we can say dx. This is equal to half dt. Now we need to change the limit accordingly. So what else we can do? When I will take 1, so this will become 2 and 2 2s are 4. Means limits will be, new limits are 2 to 4. In place of x we need to put t by 2 below. So that's why 1 upon x directly we can say it is 2 by t. Minus, here also if I replace x by t by 2, so we get 1 upon 2 into t by 4. And this is square, cancellation. So we can write finally this as 2 upon t square e raised to the power t dt. And 2 if I take common, I have twice 2 to 4 et 1 upon t plus minus 1 upon t square dt. You can check, this is fx, you can say ft, and this is f dash t. Differentiation of 1 upon t is available. That's why using this formula we can say direct answer is e raised to the power t into 1 by t with limit 2 to 4 here, 2 to 4 multiplied by 2. Now replacing, we get I first 4, so this will become e raised to the power 4 upon 4 minus e square upon 2. The only thing we can do is to take common in terms of powers of e and LCM 4. So we have common, inside we have e square left minus, as it was LCM 4, so this will be 2 left here. So finally we get half of e square minus 2. Or otherwise multiplying by 2 you can drop the answer this much. No problem is there. This was one application which I thought to be done. And the next question number 9, the last one, again objectives. As this is the different from league, different from the categories. Here we see x minus x cube whole to the power 1 by 3 upon x to the power 4. Generally students ask that whenever substitution method is to be applied, then which portion of the function should be taken. So not from the conventional method, I will say. You can check in almost or maximum cases, you will find the portion of function which is creating the problem, this should be substituted as t. Not always true, but yeah, very much it is applicable. Now we can see this is raised to the power 1 by 3. We have two options. If I take x common, so with x I am taking x to the power 1 by 3 common. Okay. If I take x to the power 3 common from this bracket, so this 3 to 1 by 3 will be cancelled out. This is giving us some reduction. This is reducing the function. What you can say? First of all, you write here 1 by 3, 1, limit as it is, x to the power 3 common. So with power 1 by 3, we will have x only common. Inside we are left with x upon x to the power 3 minus 1 by 3. As when x to the power 3 we will take common, that the power 1 by 3 will be cancelled out, left with only x. Okay. Here x cancels the power, we are left with x cube. So yeah, we can write 1 by 3 to 1. This will be solved. And we have x to the power minus 2 minus 1 raised to the power 1 by 3 upon x to the power 3 dx. Generally, why we do so? Reason. When we get here negative power, so its differentiation gives plus 1 power, means 3, which is available in denominator. Okay, situations are totally different. One more thing. Here, now as I am going to take substitution, so obviously this bracket will be done. Okay, so let's begin. Here we take, let x to the power minus 2 full or only x to the power minus 2 minus t. Differentiating minus 2 x to the power minus 3 dx dt, or we can say 1 upon x cube dx. This is minus 1 upon 2 dt. Here we can write integral as minus 1 upon 2. What about limit? This is x to the power minus 2 minus 1. Now maybe this is our problem, so you can solve it, simplify. This will be 1 upon x square, means 1 minus x square upon x square is t. This one. Okay. Now when you want to solve limit, you can put the value here. let me do it completely. If I take here 1 by 3, okay, so this will turn 1 by 9, 1 minus 1 upon 9 upon 1 by 9. We get here, you can see 9 ones are 9 minus 1, 8 by 9 upon 1 upon 9 makes it 8. So here lower limit is 8, the new one. And when I take 1, so this will make it 1 minus 1, 0 upon 1. So finally upper limit becomes 0. So very conveniently we can say this whole is what? T raised to the power 1 by 3 dx upon x cube. We have seen this is already minus half dt. And now this is integrable directly. We see 1 by 2 minus 1 by 3 plus 1 t raised to the power, and in denominator the same. We get 4 by 3 means 3 by 4, and t raised to the power 4 by 3 with limits 8 to 0. We have I is equal to minus 3 upon 8. Further, we need to put the limits. We get 0 minus 8 to the power 4 by 3. And again, if you want to solve this 8 to the power 4 by 3, the best thing which I see here, write that as 2 cube raised to the power 4 by 3. 3 to 3 cancel out. Okay, this way. So 2 raised to the power 4 means this bracket gives us 16. The term becomes minus 3 upon 8 into minus 16, which is 8 ones are 8 twos are, and final answer must be 6 here. Any option we are having? Yeah, it is giving 6. A must be the answer. Okay, so this way I hope you have understood all the questions we have selected in this module. Thank you. That's all.